You Fugazi, John Cena. You have no business being at the top of this list. And I am the authority on Twitter of all things Italian. So I'm telling you right now, I don't give a shit about all your championships. I don't give a shit about any of your accomplishments you've done. When it comes to this list on this podcast, the Meat Pop Express, you, my friend, are a rat bastard.
That's a clip. That is a clip.
Here comes trouble!
It's me. It's that into the T to the roller once again with that BTWB trouble vision, picking up the whole screen. And you got myself, Nicky the Good, and we are the Meat Pop Express. And boy, do we have yet another jam-packed episode for you guys today. And today is something that is near and dear to my heart. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, on the cusp of my viral video of Tommy DeVito, where I just gave back to the Italian community and put us once again at the top of all of civilization, we today will be tiering the greatest Italian pro wrestlers, gimmicks / whatever the hell it may be of all time.
So let me say this first. We are going to do this there are two different categories here that we're going to use both. You can have an Italian gimmick. Your name can be an Italian gimmick, or you can have Italian heritage. So there's two of the same. So it doesn't matter. Either Italian heritage or an Italian gimmick, either or, they count. And just let me say, when I was doing my research, I'll tell you right now, folks, Italians pretty much run professional wrestling. Yep. You're going to see this as we go through.
It's us and the Samoans.
And there might be a little bit of a mix in between. So you're going to see some people here that you're like, wait, they're Italian, or I had no idea. Italians run professional wrestling.
The world.
And now you're going to see this in this list. It's going to be a tough list because there might be a lot of made men here. But let's run through the categories. Made man, underboss, capo, jabroni, and rat bastard.
Yeah.
So we got five lists here. We're going to run through it. And of course, Nicky the Good is the leading scholar on Italians, on the internet, on Twitter, on all of the internet. So it's good to have, obviously, his input here. And me, actually, funny enough, Nick, I thought I was 100% Italian this week. I found this out.
Not at that high, brother. Not at that high. You got to have something in you.
I'm 75% Italian. I'm 20% Greek, and I'm 5% Lebanese.
Lebanese people tall? No, right?
No, those are all, for the most part, short people. So I don't know. I thought I had some type of Viking in me or something. I guess not. But hey,
got to be something creeping in there. Anyway, let's roll on.
Let's roll with it.
Tears.
Okay, this is what we're going to start with. We are going to start with one of the greatest, now what we call them, enhancement talents of all time. I want to start with the Brooklyn Brawler, Nick. Steve Lombardi, the Brooklyn Brawler. People know the Brooklyn Brawler. If you watch the Attitude Era, if you watch all throughout the 90s WWF, you knew him. He was the guy who came in, made everyone look good. But he had a hell of a gimmick for an enhancement talent. I mean, the guy had an awesome gimmick. So what do you put him, Nick? He's got to be one of the top.
I'm going to come in hot here, and I'm going to say the Brooklyn Brawler is a stone cold made man. He's at the top. If you've ever heard Lombardi's actual accent when he's not wrestling, like that's literally the people that I just grew up with. So he totally is a made man. His character, the Goomba, sloppy, disgusting, dirty, stinky, low life, trash Yankee fan. Like that's what he is, smoking the cig, looks like he's been through a few wars. As you know, this country is built on the Italians risking their lives for people.
Sure is.
So, basically I have this guy as a made man. Sure, he wasn't the top of the heap. He wasn't going to win any world championships, but he is in wrestling lore as a stone cold legend, my friend. And he is a made man. I'm kicking off the list hot.
All right. I like it. We got Steve Lombardi, the Brooklyn Brawler, as a made man. Okay. Moving on to our next one. We're going to go with Dino Bravo. Nick, do you know anything about Dino Bravo?
Yes, the world's strongest man.
The first world's strongest man.
The first one. He was WrestleMania 7. I remember that's like my first introductory to him. Interesting ring attire. But I don't really get a good Italian vibe from him. And I also think he did some sneaky weird stuff. Didn't he kill somebody or something like that?
I think so. There was a dark side of the ring about Dino Bravo.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing clearly. But if you are rumored to kill someone, I'm going to at least make you a capo. So let's What were you
Let's
gonna?
put him
What were you
there.
gonna throw him in?
I would have said I would have put he was on the line between Capo and Jabroni for me. I mean, he killed someone, so I think we got to.
Yeah, if you're killing someone in real
but he was
life.
born in Italy. He was born in Italy. He actually died on my 3rd birthday, March 10th, 1993.
Well,
So
he's got us. I mean, the ring attire just throws me off. Like the ring attire, the logo he had. I don't know. Like he just didn't strike me as someone who. Like I guess it was the blonde hair. Like if he had jet black hair, he would look like a Goomba. You throw him in a little suit.
Yeah,
it works.
He spent a lot of time in Montreal too, which is odd. And I don't know how I feel about the.
He's suspect, but we'll make him a capo because
we'll give him we'll respect him.
Based on the dark side of the ring. I did not watch entirely. I think he killed somebody. Moving on.
I think he did too. All right, moving on. I think this one's easy, Nick. I don't think we spent a lot of time on Bruno Sammartino.
I mean, if there was something above a made man.
I think so too. I think we got to put Bruno in the made man category because I mean, obviously, I don't think anybody's going to argue with that.
He
has a record that will never be broken.
He's someone who, first of all, he has the record. Secondly, like back when he was wrestling, him being the champion actually meant something to people. It wasn't just like it was the way Bret Hart looked at the title. You know, like Bret Hart believed he was the world champion. It was not fake to him in any way, shape, or form. And Bruno represented that to a lot of people. He also, it's like, it's a gimmick, but it's also just who he actually was as a human being. So, and I was actually there for his Hall of Fame induction.
Were you?
Yes. At the Garden.
Okay. Well, there we go. All right. No, I think that's an easy one. You know, he has a streak he has a record that will probably never be broken. And just like another Italian who has a streak that will never be broken, Joe DiMaggio. So, I know Nick's not a Yankee fan, but I think he can respect Joe DiMaggio.
Threw up in my mouth. Okay.
Was that?
Threw up in my mouth, but it's okay.
Threw up in his mouth, but you know what? He respects it. Okay, moving on to the next one. We're going to go with Big Vito from ECW, part of the Full-Blooded Italians. Big Vito. Nick, what do you think of Big Vito?
I mean, I don't want to get heat online because I know he's online, and man, him and his wife, I think they go at people. But I think that's the Big Vito I'm referring to. He has hair. He has hair in this picture.
I'm sorry, from WCW. No, that's Big Guido. We're gonna get to Big Guido. We're talking Big Vito.
Oh,
talking
right.
Vito from WCW. I'm sorry, WCW.
Yeah. So am I on the same page? The right Vito?
Yep, you are. You are the right Vito. He is online. Yes.
You know what? I probably have a better following than him. He's a rat bastard. I'll make him a rat bastard.
The rat bastard. Vito. Okay.
I probably have a bigger following than him. I'm probably more established as an Italian fixture in the internet community than Big Vito.
I liked Vito a little bit.
I like him, but where does he fit here? I don't know. He's not a jabroni.
No, he's not. I would put him in Capo, honestly. I like the Natural Born Thrillers. I was a big fan.
You know what? Throw him in Capo because you do love the Thrillers. You do love.
I am a big Thrillers guy. WCW 2000, baby. Always remember it. All right, here's one that I think we can both agree on. Chris Chetty from ECW.
Chris Chetty. Where is it? Which one?
He's right here. Chris Chetty, right here.
I don't even know who the fuck that is. Put him in a jabroni.
All right, that's it. We're just gonna move on from there. Sorry, Chris, if you are online.
Chris Chetty.
Bruno Sammartino's running mates turned rival Dominic DeNucci, Pittsburgh-born, another Italian-American, proud Italian-American that my family loved. I know my great-grandmother was a big fan of Bruno and then hated that rat bastard Dominic DeNucci, but he was a good heel. So where would you put Dominic DeNucci?
And didn't he also train Mick Foley?
He did. He trained a lot of people.
He's an underboss to me. I think he's an underboss. I think he's a guy you go to when you need something done, brother.
Yeah, I Dominic DeNucci. Met him, great guy. Unfortunately, passed away. Rest in peace to him. All right, we're gonna go with Big Guido next. Big Guido, he was part of the Full-Blooded Italians in ECW, along with his running mates, which we'll get to a ton of them as we move forward. But Big Guido, and I think I know where I want to put Big Guido.
I think go ahead. I'll let you do it.
I think he was a big. Not as much the Full-Blooded Italian. Natural Born Thrillers, yes, but the Full-Blooded Italians.
I keep confusing them.
Yeah, Full-Blooded Italian. Little Guido was the leader of it, but Big Guido for a big guy didn't do much.
Nah, he couldn't. What the fuck is he gonna do?
Couldn't. So I think I got to put him in the jabroni category.
Okay, you're a jabron, brother.
I think so. I think he's going there. Okay. All right. Next, he's actually a friend of mine. He's a great dude. On the Indies, his name was Jake Tucker. He got to WWE and found a Italian accent, and now he's part of the family in NXT. Channing Lorenzo, Stacks. What do you think of that? What do you think of that accent, Nick?
I'm making a jabroni, bro.
Oh, all right. I'm not gonna. I don't take my bias out of it because obviously he's a buddy of mine. So I'll let you make this decision.
You can't have that name on the Indies and then have this name in NXT. It's just disrespectful. It's just disrespectful. Everyone wants to be Italian. I get it. I understand it. We're the best looking. We have the most charisma. We have the best cuisine. We have the best offspring. You've seen my children. You've seen photos of my children. They are like Jesus Christ, right? That's just what we do. But you can't have the name he had on the Indies and then change it to like the most stereotypical. I grew up in Brooklyn, went to high school with Nicky the Good. I'm just not going to stand for it then.
Okay, well, you got a good reason. You got a good reason. I think old Stas can respect that. All right, Nick. Next one, I made a video about him a few months back. Strong as a goddamn bull, Johnny Stromboli, Johnny the Bull in WWE. Where will we put him?
I like him a lot. I think he's a capo.
I think so too. I think that's a great spot for him. Also,
great fucking name. That's just an incredible name, Johnny Stromboli.
And he's an absolute monster. Absolute monster. Okay, here's one that people might not know, but she is of Italian descent, Ivory.
Okay, so I got a story. Well, not a story, but it's more of a confession. So when I was little Nicky the Good, right? Like Ivory always had that, like, she was kind of like a little bit older, you know, like that milfy look to her. I just thought she was so hot because it was like she was like I don't know, like she was probably just in her 30s, you know, like at the time. She's probably younger than me, but for some reason she just did it for me, man. And she was great in the ring, and she held that female division together. And if you go back and watch some of those matches with some of the divas they threw at her, she is doing everything in her power to make this look reasonably acceptable. She was an MVP of the women's division back when she was doing her run. I'm happy she got her flowers. I'm happy she was a world champion. Got the whole and she was a member of what was it? Women of Wrestling. What was it? Glow. Glow. She was Glow. Yeah, right. So I'm gonna make her, to me, I don't think you fuck with Ivory. I think she's either an underboss or a made woman.
I think made woman. I'm gonna go.
She's that big for me. Yeah, I agree.
And I thought Right to Censor was a hell of a.
I liked it. I also like how much the Godfather hated
it. You know, but it worked. It worked. They got heat.
They got fucking heat. They got heat. That fucking theme song sucked. That's why.
Exactly. Here's somebody that many people might not know he was part of the Full Blooded Italians. I had to put him up here. JT Smith. JT Smith from ECW.
No clue who he is. You can rank him wherever you want.
All right, we'll just put him in jabroni. I don't know.
Sorry, JT.
All right, moving someone who's not a jabroni and someone who is of Italian descent, not an Italian gimmick, but guys might know him. John Cena.
Okay. This fucking guy. Well, listen. Where were you gonna put him in? What were we gonna do?
I think it's tough because nobody would really know he's Italian. But Cena's an Italian last name. Might not realize.
Listen, we're talking like listen. This is a list that we're tiering Italians. We're removing the fact that he is a top 10, 5, 10, 5,
3, maybe
person definitely of the modern era. But, he's up there, John. He's a legend. But this fucking guy changes his accent whenever he feels it is, it's like convenient for him. If he's in Boston, he drops a Boston accent. If he's in New York, just like a Yankee asshole, he stops talking like he's Italian from Brooklyn, from New York. He's a rat bastard, Ben.
Oh, what a bastard!
He's a fucking liar. He can say he's Italian all he wants, but the minute he puts on a suit, he's corporate. The minute he's in he's in Boston. The minute he's in New York, he has a different accent. You're Fugazi, John Cena. You have no business being at the top of this list. And I am the authority on Twitter of all things Italian. So I'm telling you right now, I don't give a shit about all your championships. I don't give a shit about any of your accomplishments you've done. When it comes to this list on this podcast, the Meat Pop Express, you, my friend, rat bastard.
That's a clip. That is a clip. Okay. A proud, you might see my dog, folks. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Hi, Stevie. Hi. Oh, you were mad. Are you mad about John Cena being rat bastard? And there's Kelsey too. All right, girls. All right. We'll play in a bit. We're playing a big. Go ahead. Go play. Go fight. Next one. He's a proud Rhode Island resident, which is where I am right now, folks, with the different background. Chuck Palumbo.
Capo.
Chuck Palumbo. Another. Yes.
Capo.
Thank
I
Capo.
love Chuck Palumbo.
I
If
would've
you
put
want
him
to,
at underball.
you can throw
Nah.
underball. I'll
No, I think Capo's a good fair. Taking the
I
bias
love
out of it.
Chuck
Obviously, he's a
Palumbo.
Rhode
I think
Islander.
he and also he first of all, he looks Italian, right?
He does.
He walks into a room, you can see him at any bar, on the Jersey Shore. Or you can
Yep.
go, you class it up, you go someplace nice, Del Frisco's, get a nice steak. He could be there as well. He also, his body of work, anything you put this motherfucker in, he served his purpose and he did a really damn good job of it. Billy and Chuck, one of the best fucking tag teams you've ever seen, motherfucker. So I'm putting him as a cap.
Good theme song. Good. Yeah. Now, and he's kind of badass. Got a motorcycle.
Yeah,
I think he's got
dude,
like
he's
a
cool.
motorcycle business
Yeah,
now.
man, he's awesome.
And he's a Rhode Islander.
I'm a
There's a
fan.
lot of Italians here. All right. Muhammad Hassan, Nick, is next. A guy who is very Italian. I think his name is like Mark Moretti or something. Or Copino, Mark Capini, something. But he played a terrorist from the Middle East. WWE. One of the worst taste
Man,
gimmicks of all
I feel
time.
bad for him.
Me too.
So I think I'm just gonna make him a capo to avoid any backlash. Online.
Oh man, I wonder who would give you that backlash. I think everyone knows this gimmick was bad. But he's an
dude.
Italian guy.
Yeah.
We got to, maybe we can be nice to him because he was stuck with a bad gimmick. Let's give him a
Yeah,
let's
if
give
you
him
could deal
something
with
there.
that, I know that you're loyal. You're loyal to the business. If you're willing, because that means he's willing to do anything it takes. And that was the type of guy I want in my family if I was starting an organized crime unit.
All right, we're talking next. We're talking about the queen of probably the most controversial borough, depending on who you ask, if everybody really likes this borough, but the queen of Staten Island, Carmella, not an Italian, but played pretty much, without saying it, an Italian from Staten Island.
I thought she did a great job of it. I think
so
and
too.
I think Carmella is wildly underappreciated for what she could do in the ring as well. I don't understand why people don't think she's a good wrestler. I never seen her do any dumb botches. I think she wrestles within her own capabilities. She's one of the best talkers they have. She's a performer, and she's a new mother. So let's just make her. I think she's a capo to me. I think the knock is that she's actually like not really Italian.
I think she's Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know her. Her name's Leah something, but I don't think she's.
So we'll call her capo.
All right, I think that's good. And for Mella, he was on your list last week of the best short wrestlers. We got Taz,
Made man, brother.
Taz,
Taz the made
man.
man. Everything.
Red Hook, baby.
Red Hook section of Brooklyn. He's got the tan. He's got the complexion. He's got the accent. He's Italian American. He's just he's a Met fan, huge Met fan. So at the end of the day, he's a made man. I don't even think it's a question. Taz is a made man, and when it comes to the Italians in the world of professional wrestling,
I think when you think ECW, Taz has got to be the top three you think about.
Oh no, definitely.
He's got to be. It's got to be like Rob Van Dam
and Rob Van Dam to me.
Probably those are the top three. Yeah, absolutely. All right, staying with the women here, we are going to go with Alundra Blaze or Medusa, depending on what you want to call her. Also of Italian descent.
Kind of weirds me out.
I learned a lot yesterday when I heard all these people.
She kind of weirds me out a little bit, Medusa.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's a tough one.
I don't know. I don't want to be disrespectful to her, but like,
she is a Hall of Famer.
I'm gonna put her in a capo tier. I think she's a little annoying.
Okay.
I
see.
I think she gets a little annoying, like with the respect your elders type shit.
That lame veteran.
I don't know.
Wrestling veteran.
Yeah,
shit.
I just think she'd be jealous of the younger up and coming people in my family. Like again, I'm bringing this back to if I was starting a crime family, what would I do? I don't know if I would trust her. I don't know if I could trust her that well. Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's just rooted jealousy there and a desire to, get back to your glory days. But that's not what I need. I need her to just do what her role is for today's day and age. If this was back in the early 90s, she'd be top of the heap. She'd be the top earner. But I don't see her as a top earner in the Nicky the Good family in 2023, Ben.
Folks, this is why we have Nick here. He's really breaking this down.
I break it down scientific.
Of things that you wouldn't think about.
I don't
easily you could have said she's a Hall of Famer. We could have put her higher. But he's really like getting into the detail, folks. You know what you're getting here. This is free.
I don't just like, it's not the gimmick online. Like when I say I'm the authority on Twitter, especially, of Italian everything. I fucking mean it.
Mhm.
There is no
Yeah.
one else that you go to. If you drop an Italian flag on Twitter, it's basically my bat signal. Because I got people just randomly like there'll be like a good like chicken marsala, and someone will just tag me in the fucking photo. That's where I'm at right now. Okay. Hey Nick, what do you think about this? And I'm like, you want me to just judge the chicken marsala right now? I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm Nicky the fucking good. Nicky, that's what I do. That's what I was put here for. Let's continue with the tiering list.
Rate the Marsala, baby. All right. So someone that Nick didn't want to put on his list last week
Fucked
is
up.
disrespectful to Italians, Little Guido
Underboss.
or Nunzio. Yep. I thought so.
Underboss gets the dirty work done. Is
hell of a wrestler.
it's not about the fight in the. It's not about the size of the dog. It's about the bite of his bark or some shit.
Whatever it is, okay, stupid saying anyway.
That's it about Nunzio.
All right, we got Nunzio there. I thought his work was great, and we always say like wrestling doesn't matter as much, but he was a great character and a great wrestler.
Yes, sir.
So we'll give it to him. Tommaso Ciampa, the Sicilian psychopath, as he used to be called on the Indies and through his before he got to WWE. He's been in WWE. They called him that.
He's a capo to me. I mean, I think that if you need something done,
absolutely
call that fucking guy.
Absolutely, badass. Ripped to shreds now.
Oh
too.
yeah, looks great.
Whew.
Great
looks
tan,
amazing.
great tan, great complexion. All
right,
skin.
The Don of NXT, Tony D'Angelo. Now he's legit Italian.
I like him a lot. I like him a lot.
I do too.
I would say he would be the next in line to eventually be a made man to lead.
I think so too.
To lead like a unit, and he is leading a unit kind of in a way, but he's an underboss. He's the heir to the throne. They
need more people. They need more people.
They do. I think they're not doing. I think they're not expanding it as much as they can. There's a lot of meat on the bone there. There's a lot of carbonata on the bone there, and then it's not grabbing.
Oh, folks, you're just getting all the Italian stuff.
Yes, sir.
All right. Another ECW guy. He came around in ECW a little bit later. Not as much. Now he's actually working for WWE now. Steve Corino. I think he was a great heel. He's a full-blooded Italian guy. But what do you think of Steve Corino? Nick? Do you remember Steve Corino?
Yeah, I do, of course. But I'm fair weather on him. I don't think he's a jabroni. I don't think he's a rat bastard. I think he's a capo. I don't think he's very special, but I think he knows who he is, and that's just what it is.
That's it. Okay. That's it. That short and sweet. Short and sweet. All right. From the full-blooded Italians, most likely not Italian whatsoever, but Tracy Smothers.
Underboss.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace to Tracy Smothers. Yes, I think that is respectful to put.
He's the Polly Walnuts. He's the Polly Walnuts of this list to me. That's what he's the wise man of this list in a way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We're going to get to a few more full-blooded Italians because we got one next. We got Sal E. Graziano, the real big man of the FBI. Just enormous.
I mean,
he's not in the best way.
I mean, he's got a capo because that he can't stay. He's not going to stay around long enough,
No.
I don't even know if he's still alive.
I don't think he is. I truly don't think he is. So rest in peace to Sal, I think. But he enormous and just an enormous human being. Remember, he would always come out with Guido would always be on his shoulders.
I'll say this, man, like he was next level big. Like he was as wide as he was tall, which is he had that like Big Daddy V size, but maybe bigger. I don't know.
He was actually born in Sicily. Looking that up right now.
And what was his finish? His finish was the
what was it?
It was awesome though. It looked devastating. I can't remember what it was though. I remember him just like doing this move on people. I watched like a compilation video of it.
And by the way, so we can correct ourselves. He is still alive.
All right.
Sal Graziano, he is. Good for Sal.
All right, Sal.
Sal, you're the man, dude. We are fans of you, and that's why you're a capo.
Yes, sir.
So we're putting him there.
Might edit this out. Keep going.
Tony Mama Luke from the full-blooded Italians and also in the WWE a little bit after that. So where would you put Tony Mama Luke?
No,
Guido's partner.
I don't fucking know. Jabroni. I don't care.
Okay. The guy with probably the guy that had the Italian gimmick. When you think of Italian gimmicks in wrestling, you probably think of this guy first, Santino Marella.
Listen, we're going to go on a heavy roll here of top guys. I can see the bottom of this list. He's a made man.
Oh, yeah.
He's a made man.
He's a made man.
The Milan Miracle.
Will never be forgotten.
Yep. Keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling. Enzo Amore.
To me, he's a made man. I think he made the Italian gimmick good again, I think. In a way that hasn't been done before. It's not like the "Ayo, how you doing?" Not that one. Not the Tony D'Angelo Italian. It's that Jersey Shore, like just this is the one friend that you bring to the bar who's gonna get you in a fight, but then he's gonna end up like buying drinks for the guy at the end of the night who he fought. And
that's a perfect way to describe him. Well, folks, if you didn't know, now you know. Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea,
made man.
He's Italian.
I always knew that as a kid too. I remember my dad telling me he was Italian.
We're a big pro Hogan pod, so that's not a surprise by anything. Joey Styles, Italian American.
I'll make Styles a capo.
I think he was great at what he did.
He was great.
To be able to do commentary alone all those years in ECW, that's tough. That is not easy to do commentary alone, and he did a great job at it. And one of the best exit promos from WWE ever. Right? Folks, go look that up when he just left Raw one day and was like, "That's it. I'm leaving. I don't want to be here anymore." And he stuck by it. He never came back. Good for him. Good for him. Tommy Rich from the Full-Blooded Italians, Wildfire. Tommy Rich.
Who the fuck is it?
Tommy
Jabroni.
Rich.
See you later, Tommy. Tommy Poor.
Oh man,
Tommy Poor.
Tommy Poor. One of the most controversial figures in wrestling Twitter, Glenn Gilbretti, Disco Inferno.
Not controversial to me. I love me some Disco Inferno.
I do too.
Make him an underboss. I'm not going to go made man, but make him an underboss. I love Disco Inferno. I think he gets a bad rap because he just says what's on his mind. If you just use a little bit of logic, motherfuckers, like he makes a lot of sense. And here's another thing. Okay, here's a little rant. This might be a good clip. If you think, like, I know Cody said the thing about not drawing a dime, but I'll at least say this. I was entertained, me personally, when Disco Inferno was on my TV as a kid. I vividly remember enjoying when he was on the show. I knew he was probably going to lose. Like, I was keyed in on that. But I liked the entrance. I liked the theatrics in the middle of the ring. Whether or not he was in with the boys, I don't fucking know. I also don't care. But I did know is that when I was a kid and I saw an Italian guy with that hair, I was like, why the fuck is this guy obsessed with disco music? I don't know. Didn't make sense, but I was entertained by it. So I do appreciate what he did when he was in WCW. I think he was right along with one of the more memorable characters that they've ever had that wasn't like a top guy.
No, yeah. So Disco, give us a like and a retweet.
Yeah,
that was
please.
A hell of a clip.
Thank you, Disco.
Come on. All right. One of the guys had one of the greatest calls of all time. Stevie, here she comes again. Well, let's go with Gorilla Monsoon. Oh, good girl.
I mean, Gorilla's a made man. I mean, he looks more the part than anyone on this list.
Yeah, I think so too.
He actually looks like
one of the greatest commentators, great great big men of all time, Gorilla Monsoon.
Actually looks like he could be running this crew.
Absolutely. All right. You know what? Why, if he wants so much attention, just come up here. Hey, everyone, this is Stevie.
Hey, Stevie.
We're gonna get so many likes just because of this. All right. You've had him on the pod before, Nick, before I jumped aboard the Meat Pop Express, and we named it the Meat Pop Express. But we have the Mean Street Posse. I think at least two of them are Italian.
Yep,
so we're gonna just do the whole group.
Pete Gasparino, I know him. He's a great guy. He's an underboss. I'm putting him as an underboss. These guys can be trusted. These guys, I have text messages for him that says whatever you need. And that's what I expect from my Italian people. Because you know what? I would write the same thing back. Whatever you need. It's a very simple thing that I say. The next guy you can put as a made man. I didn't.
Folks, just so you know, Roman Reigns' mother is Italian. So suck it, everybody. Italians run wrestling. Look at this. We got John Cena, who's, on this list is a rat bastard, but obviously his accomplishments speak for itself. We got Roman Reigns. We got Hulk Hogan on this list. Bruno Sammartino. We're talking for the greatest WWE champion.
I love how Cena's the only rat bastard.
Yeah. Nick, your favorite wrestling personality of all time, Vince Russo, is next.
He's a made man.
Yep, he sure is. And Ted DiBiase. Well, here's the one thing that pisses me off about Ted DiBiase. He has created the rich guy gimmick in wrestling that so many stupid independent wrestlers use. I hate the I'm rich gimmick on the independent wrestling circuit, and it is all because of Ted DiBiase. He's gotten some legal trouble recently.
Yeah, I mean, him and Flair both did the rich, but they did them differently. But everyone else is like, if you don't have the money, to me, it doesn't actually work. You actually have to be physically rich. Like you can't.
Exactly.
I don't think you could have a rich person gimmick. That's like me being like having a tall person gimmick on Twitter. You know, like my gimmick is good looking Italian guy, charisma, funny. You know, that makes sense because all those things are very true. Right. But if I was saying, hey, I'm the tallest person in the world, it just wouldn't make sense.
There you go. So where would you put Ted DiBiase? Never won the title, bought the title.
Give me an underboss for Ted.
Oh, okay. Okay. We'll put him in underboss. All right. Finishing up this list with three others. All right. We got the former Fabian Eichner from Italy, now known as Giovanni Da Vinci. What do you think? He is in his own little mafia. He is kind of a capo, but he loses a lot.
He could be a jabroni. You got to win.
I think so too.
Start getting some dubs, brother.
I think so too. All right.
I'm gonna make Macho
Slim Jim Man, Macho Man,
Made Man, Macho,
Pafo,
of course. Pafo's a great Italian
yep.
name. And then lastly, this dude's a Made Man. I mean, this fucking accent of his, this hard Jersey trash, Jersey Shore, A-Bar, Osprey, all these bars, and I was actually next to him at A-Bar over like 12 years ago. Standing.
He's a sneaky, very big man. He's a very big
fucking.
I think he's from New York though.
He is, yeah. But he.
Oh, okay,
he was smoking, shots like I had never seen someone just like not give a fuck, and just like just not affected.
He is a nice guy. I've met Bully before. He's very intense.
He's super intense. Dude, I was scared. I didn't say anything to him. I fucking chickened out. I didn't say jack shit to him. He's
intense.
I was like, he's having fun. I don't want to be, no one else is approaching him. I'm sure someone here knows that he's Bubba Ray Dudley. I'm probably the biggest wrestling fan here, though. But I'm not going to say anything because I'm just going to let that guy have a fun night. I think
he's one of those guys. Either could be a great encounter or just an absolute
He caught me looking at him a few times, and he's probably like, yeah, this kid knows.
He knew.
But, whatever. Like, I'm small enough where, like, he's not going to be like, what's your problem? You know? Like, I'm not obviously a problem to him. So.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, that's the list, man.
That's the list. There's plenty more, folks. Let me tell you. I mean, like I said, Italians run professional wrestling as they also run the world. So Roman Empire is not dead yet, as you can see, especially. Well,
nope, it's alive and well, just like the Meat Pop Express. So Ben, you can make sure to please follow us everywhere. Follow me at Nicky the Good on Twitter, on TikTok. Follow Ben at Big Trouble BB everywhere. Follow us at the Meat Pop Express everywhere. And Ben, you have anything to say to these marks?
Not too much. I think that's all I'll say is Merry Christmas. Keep it positive. Keep it trucking. And keep the shades on because the sun never sets on a cool guy.
Later, Marks.